Welcome to this week's video on photography and AI. The photography industry has a problem, and it's not AI. The problem is an entire economy built on selling hope instead of skill. A lot of people that's talking the loudest about photography today are no longer working photographers. They're content creators, they're course creators, and sometimes fair managers. They survive by keeping you just enough insecure to keep buying the next solution. And now AI has exposed that. Because if improvement can be systemized, if feedback can be accelerated, if learning can be intentional, the illusion of secret knowledge collapses. So what do? They downplay AI, they soften it, they tell you to be careful, they say it's just a tool, but quietly they hope you never unlock the real leverages of AI. Let me be clear. AI will not replace photographers. It replaces a system of weak education and empty authority. And that scares people who profit off confusion. I've seen this pattern before. Every time a real technology shift happens, the gatekeepers panic. The marketers rebrand themselves as protectors, and the beginners get lied to. Here's the truth they won't say out loud. Most photographers don't fail because of talent. They fail because they never receive honest feedback, structured practice, visual literacy, and a real system that they can work with. AI fixes that. AI gives you feedback without ego, practice without guessing, history without gatekeepers, and a system without burnout. And no, it doesn't make you more creative. It removes the excuses that keep you from becoming creative. If you think AI is dangerous to photography, what you're really afraid of is photographers getting better, faster, without having to rely on you. This series is not for the hobbyists who want comfort. It's not for the influencers protecting the brand. It's for photographers who want mastery. We're going to use AI to expose weak habits, sharpen seeing, accelerate learning, and restore discipline to the craft. Let's get started. And I'm going to show you how to leverage AI without having to rely on anyone but you. Let me explain to you what AI is not. AI is not this ghosted machine that is making its own decisions that are going to replace humans like you've seen in the movies Terminator and The Matrix. That is the furthest thing from the truth. AI is a mastery of information. It's a master of processing information. It's a master of being able to understand it and analyze it and summarize it. And it does it much quicker than what we do. When you're using AI, it's there to do one thing, to serve you. And it's giving you the information that you're specifically asking it to give you. And based upon the information that it has access to, that is what you're being given when you do these chat boxes with AI. I encourage everyone that if you find a model of AI that you like, whether it's Gemini, OpenAI, Copilot, Perplexity, whichever one you want to be able to use, and purchase the professional version of that, the commercial version. It gives you more access, gives you more features, and allows you to do more things with it. There is a scene from The Matrix that I really like when it's concerning the Oracle. And it was a saying that she says that I really identify with. You can take what I'm saying, you can use it to your benefit, you can expand upon it, but you got to make up your own damn mind. It is up to you. I believe that once you reach a certain plateau or once you reach a certain level, that we are supposed to transfer information to the younger generation. I have over 30 years experience in IT. I have over 17 years of professional photography. I've been doing photo manipulation since 1994, and I've used every single program that was on the market. I was an official beta tester for Corel back in the 90s. With all the experience that I have, AI is better than me right now as far as obtaining information, being able to process it. It does a much better job than I do right now. There's no reason to be fearful of it. Take it, use it to your advantage, and keep creating. It's much better than what we are as far as storing it and being able to understand it and being able to disseminate it. And this is what's causing shockwaves, not only to individuals, but to corporations. So let's get started. And again, you can take what I'm telling you as true. You can take what I'm telling you and use it for however you want to use it, but you have to make up your own damn mind. Take your time and make your decision. The decision you made is a wise one. Promise nothing but the truth. No gimmicks, no hype, no lies. Just the truth. Welcome to the real world. Fear is not allowed. Photography has never been about the camera. That's the first illusion. The second is believing that creativity exists without information. From every image that you admired, every photograph that stops time was born from a decision, and every decision was informed. You see, information is not the enemy of creativity. It's the gateway. Light is information. Shadow is information. Color, compression, time, intention. The moment you understand this, you'll stop reacting and you'll start creating. Most photographers are drowning in tools, but starving for understanding. They chase presets. They mimic styles. They collect gear, hoping creativity will appear on its own. It never does. Creativity doesn't arrive by accident. It responds to clarity. When you understand why light behaves the way it does, you'll bend it. When you understand how emotion lives in posture, gesture, and framing, you'll reveal it. When you understand the context of what you're photographing, you'll stop taking pictures. You'll start making statements. Information does not replace intuition. It sharpens it. It gives intuition teeth. This is the difference between a snapshot and a photograph that lingers, between an image that's seen and one that is felt. And now we stand at a new threshold. Artificial intelligence is not here to replace photographers. It's here to expose them. Those without vision will ask it what to do. Those with understanding will tell it how to think. This is why I built these GPTs. Not to automate creativity, but to amplify informed intention. Each one designed to challenge assumptions, refine decisions, and return control to the photographer, where it belongs. The question isn't whether you will use AI in photography. The question is, will you use it blindly, or will you use it with purpose? The decision is yours. Hi, this is Marcus, and welcome to my custom GPTs for photography. These GPTs were designed in a way to really be helpful. They can do the smallest job you want it to do, and they can also go to the most complicated. They're very well thought out. I'm constantly updating them as I go back through it, and I get more information on different things and how information within that particular GPT has changed. So if you go into your search and type in LaShaw Digital Studio LLC, it should pull up the 4 that I have in there. Or you can just type in my name, Marcus Walker. So let me just break down the 4 that I got. I have one that's an AI mentor. And it says, if I click on it, it says a professional grade AI mentor for photographers who want honest critique, disciplined practice, a real improvement, no hype, no shortcuts, no validation without substance. These conversation starters You don't have to use them. I would encourage you to, because this is how it was actually designed. But you can go in there and ask any kind of question as far as it being able to mentor you, and it'll develop a lesson plan and a training plan to actually help you in areas where you're weak at. It's really good. And then if we look at the other three that I have one of getting the correct lighting for my photo shoot. Again, if I click this one here, you'll see what it does. It says, help me obtain the correct setting for my lighting for my photo shoot. It does a lot. It will search the internet. It'll do image generation for you. It'll actually go in and read code and different things for you. It'll give you the ability to be able to load manuals up. So just say, for instance, you're using ProPhoto and you're trying to do lighting with ProPhoto. You load the manual up. Now it will actually be just narrow it down to the ProPhoto lighting without having to guess. But if you didn't have it, you could have it search the web and be able to bring that information in for you as well. The next one here is the one I'm probably going to showcase, and this is instructions for photography pricing and estimates. For photographers that are just getting in, there are no one giving you any training on that, on how you put together an estimate, when you put together an estimate, how is it formatting? How do you have your structure as far as what you're charging for? What should you be charging for? And it'll go in and it'll help you generate these different estimates for pricing. And I'm going to go through that one because I believe this one's one that people have been asking me for when I was actually talking to individuals within my Facebook group. And then this one is my personal photography assistant. That you can go in there and just start up. It just covers everything about it. You can go in there and it'll be your assistant. It'll help you when you want to create a project in your mood board and create the looks for the mood board. It does everything in-house. It'll generate the actual prompts that you need based upon what you're telling it, what you want it to be able to do. And it'll generate the images that you can use for your mood board. But the one that I'm going to go into right now is going to be this one here. So let's just go ahead and start this. We're going to click this. And when we go in here, there's 4 conversation starters. Again, you don't have to start with these. I would recommend you to start with these. These will help. It says, help me price a photo or a fashion shoot in the city. And it's got, I'm shooting an editorial for a magazine. Review my pricing, my current pricing, and I'll show you how that actually works. Let's go into this one right here. So when you tell it to actually help me, as far as how I'm going to charge it, it's going to ask you some questions. Because all pricing for your photography is going to be based upon your local area. If you live in Nebraska, and I come in from a workshop and I'm from New York, and I tell you what you should be charging based upon what I think you should be charging because of my view and my experience from New York, and you try to charge that in Nebraska and you having issues, you should have issues. Business is like politics. It's all local based upon where you're at, right? What you can charge in New York, you cannot charge in Nebraska. You cannot charge in St. Louis. The market's different. The income's different. The medium income, just everything is different. The whole pricing structure is different. So what you do with this is asking you a question. What city and state are you going to be in? So I'm going to say I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. And it helps. What you can do is just go ahead and put number 1, right? So we'll say number 1. So that lets it know that you're, and then hold down your shift key and hit the return. And then we're going to go to 2, and it's saying, what type of photo shoot are you going to be doing? Is it a fashion, or is it a portrait, or is it a hybrid? I'm going to say this is a portrait session. And then it's asking you, so I can put a comma, and it's asking me, what type of client? Is it an individual, a private client, a model, an actor, a small brand, an agency, an editorial? Is this paid by the client directly or self-funded or editorial? Those are questions that it needs to have because it's going to give you the information differently. I'm going to say this is a actor, and I'm going to say it's paid by the client. Through the power of video, I'm going to go ahead and fill out all of the rest of the information that it is asking me, so I don't take up all of your time, and then we'll show you the results of it. We'll go back down, and then we'll look at all the different things that it's asking me. Once you answer the questions, I'll give you recommendations for pricing. We've got that, and then I'm just going to go ahead and send that up. And when we do that, you'll see what it comes back with really quickly. It's giving you what the price should actually be. It's giving you different breakdowns of what you should charge based upon the area of where you're at. Again, St. Louis, the commercial market is lower than New York, LA, and Chicago. All of that information has to be in there. And then you look at this of how it breaks down the licensing fee and how it breaks down everything else. And then it goes ahead and it does it for you. So you can take this and paste this in there, and it breaks down all of your information. There's nothing online that actually gives you that. So it gives you the subtotal, and it's telling you about what everything is for. I mean, you have to pay your assistants. All of this is for that. Now, if you was only doing a one-man job and doing it yourself, you put the correct information in, it knows how to go in there based upon the location of where you at, and it gives you a recommendation for that. Now, what you want to do is, you should know your market better than anything. If the numbers are a little bit different, you can actually upload what your prices are, and they will stay within the constraints of your prices. But you can see that it does everything up here for you. Or the person can sign once you got everything in there. You can paste this in there, and now you're good to go, right? You can still go in here and refine. So it just does a really good job. And the biggest thing that it does is it makes sure that it asks you where you're located at, what type of thing that you're doing. This is something that most photographers, beginning photographers, don't understand, right? There's things about retainers, there's usages, there's a whole bunch of things that you just don't know. And at the workshops, they don't tell you that. And I never want this should never give you any kind of legal or financial information as far as what you should actually do. Again, what it's doing is actually researching where you're at and giving what the established price is based upon public information of what you can charge in your area. And it even breaks it down that if you're in the market where it's lean or standard or premium, but you can see when it breaks down all of these different prices, how you derive up this sub price. And if the person's going to do credit and what's due, and then, how much is due upon receipt, and there's a 5% late charge or overdue, and then the importance about everything. And then it still asks you more information. If you want, build a lower budget fallback version. So I'm going to tell it to do this, and you'll see what it does with this. I'm going to tell it to do that for me. We're just going to go ahead and do this, and it'll go in and it'll do that. And you'll see what it's actually doing with that. It goes in and reduces everything else back down. It makes it a little bit more cheaper. The total comes down from $3,200 to $2,500. And again, you can just keep going with this. And I could just keep going and going. And this is why I didn't want to showcase all four. But because you can access them even in the free plan, just go there, try them. I am positive they are going to be such an asset to you in the world of photography, and you're going to be pleased with them. Most people are talking about AI and doing things just so mundane, and help you write up an email to go out and tell your customer, hey, like a reminder. We're beyond that. The power that's in this tool and what you can do with it is mind-blowing. It levels the playing field. So I wanted to just give you a snippet to whet your appetite. Go out and use them. I do answer any comments or any emails I get, and let the games begin. Thank you for watching. And now what I'm going to do is just put up a small little slideshow that I have that's coming from my portfolio. I just want to showcase the work. If you have time, please stay and watch them. My promise is I will never do a video of any hardware or software, or even talking about anything that I have not personally used, personally owned, or have experience with it. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.